This evening I want to share with you 5 critical steps to birthing your dream successfully. Now it is said that Helen Keller said these words: "Keep your face to the sunshine and you cannot see a shadow." And the reason I'm quoting Helen Keller, because she is known to be deaf, dumb, and blind, but actually she was none of the above. She could hear better than most. She can see better than most, and she certainly was not dumb and has written several books. Now, despite Helen Keller having what many people would characterize as handicaps or disabilities, she was able to be successful in life despite the fact that she could not physically see, she could not physically hear, and she could not physically speak the way people who are able to speak vocally. But she was one of the most profound speakers and one of the most in-depth writers. Her ability to be able to touch the human spirit and the soul was amazing. And so she was able to find success regardless of what she was confronted with. So I want to share these 5 critical steps to birthing your dream successfully. Because success does not happen by chance. We create it by visualizing in our mind's eye the possibility of what we conceptualize, and by focusing our energy in the direction of that which we see. And that's exactly what Helen Keller did. Now, when we aim for something, we generate ideas and project those thoughts into the atmosphere. And at the very moment of projection, what we are actually doing is engaging in the act of visualizing an idea as an objective reality. And an objective reality is truth that is manifested in the tangible or the physical realm. Now, when we actively participate in this process consciously, we are able to catch a glimpse of the possibilities of what can be when we apply ourselves to bring it into existence. Because the truth is, transformation begins in the mind. Although Helen Keller could not speak physically, and although she could not see physically, and although she could not hear physically, she had a very, very sharp mind. And so she was able to impact many lives by taking what was in her mind and getting it out into the physical world. So whatever we are able to see in our mind's eye, we have the power to bring it into fruition. Without an image in your mind, there is nothing to move toward. So because Helen Keller had so many images in her mind, she just had to find a way to bring all of that genius there into the physical or the tangible reality. So everything we see externally starts with a thought and a visualization, and that's either yours or someone else's. The thoughts themselves is what creates motion, which will ultimately produce a physical reality. Now, there are 5 steps to making things real in your life. And when you learn and practice each of these steps, it will help you to achieve your goals and objectives and experience manifestation. So step 1, think positive thoughts and conceptualize ideas. Now, what you accomplish or fall short of in your life are all tied to how you think. Whether that's success, whether it's happiness, whether it's overall health and well-being, healthy relationships, whatever it is you accomplish or fall short of completing are all tied to how you think. You may have heard the phrase, you are what you eat. Well, likewise, you are what you think, and ultimately will become what you conceive of the most. So if you're not satisfied with your condition, then change it. However, new circumstances can only be achieved by elevating your thoughts. A link, or otherwise a key, to attaining higher and more positive concepts comes through the awareness and the acceptance that your state of existence is not the result of others, but rather a consequence of your own mind. I want to say that again. What you're dealing with in your life, the obstacles that you're presented with, the successes that you have achieved, anything in your life, whether it's the attainment of higher and more positive concepts, they comes through the awareness and acceptance that your state of existence is not the result of others, but rather a consequence of your own mind. We can only grow and triumph and realize our dreams by first taking responsibility for our own state of affairs, and then by raising the bar in terms of how we think. Our reality is the evidence of what we think and believe. And when we produce constructive thoughts, we become the transforming and regenerative conduit of positive energy by which we begin to create a whole new reality for our lives and have an impact in the world around us. Moving on to step 2. Believe that your positive thoughts, your ideas, and concepts can become real. When you believe in something, regardless of what your present or existing circumstances are, you are actually acknowledging that it already exists, whether you see it physically or not. You see, belief brings hope, which places you in a state of expectation and anticipation. And so when you're able to look forward to that which you have faith in, even as matters may stand right now in your life, you get excited at the possibilities. And this excitement and this anticipation produces electricity. Accordingly, when you believe that your ideals are attainable, electromagnetic energy is generated. And this energy becomes the attracting power that calls your ideas and concepts into the physical and tangible plane. So it's important to believe that your positive thoughts, your ideas, and your concepts can become real. Step 3. Write down your ideals and your concepts. And I can't stress this enough. Because when you write down your thoughts and ideals, you reinforce them. Writing them down also helps you to stay focused on them and keep everything organized. See, once you put things to paper, those ideals become the roadmap to making them happen in your life. So consider what you write down, your ideas, concepts, what you want to do, your things to do. Consider that your roadmap, because that's what you're going to look at and refer back to keep things moving forward. Step 4. Talk about your ideas and concepts so that you can clarify them. There is power in your words. You are actually creating as you speak. And once you say something, it already exists because you spoke it into existence. But the first thing is you put thought behind it, like we talk about in step 1. But there's power in the words. And your words do not return void. They impact everything in the atmosphere. And words are like thoughts. They carry weight. Therefore, we must be mindful of the words that we speak. I want to get a little scientific on you for a moment. I'm not sure if you are aware, but light travels at a rate of 186,000 miles per second. It takes exactly 8 minutes and 20 seconds for the light of the sun, which is 93 million miles away from the earth, it takes 8 minutes and 20 seconds to travel from the sun to the earth, causing the earth to rotate on its axis. Now, also, the same is true regarding the rotation of the blood throughout our body from head to toe. It takes 8 minutes and 20 seconds to circle throughout the body from head to toe. So imagine if you were to take 8 minutes and 20 seconds to speak an inspiring word to someone. You could very well cause their spirit to be totally renewed. Think about that for a moment. Now let's move on to step 5. Take action on your ideas and concepts. Now, it doesn't matter how much thinking you do, how much believing you do, how much writing you do, and how much speaking you do. At some point, you're going to have to take action. Faith without works is dead. So the 5th step to changing your reality is working to do what you said you would do. So now, as we climb this ladder of success, remember these 5 critical steps. Positive thought, belief in the thought, writing of the thought, speaking of the thought, and then acting on that thought. Positive thinking, believing, writing, speaking, and acting on it. And what you'll find as you practice these steps is that there truly is magic in the process. Thank you for listening. Peace, love, and light. Have a wonderful evening.